Listen, I'm gonna put you on to some free game. I know my camera's like, it's a weird quality. Let me fix it a little bit. I'm recording from my computer, and I don't post on this channel much. But I'm gonna give you an idea to become a millionaire. Literally, this is proven to be, if you just have the willpower to just follow through with this plan, you can really make it work. And if you're a little bit intelligent, you can make it work. So, I heard somebody say on a podcast, and this is what gave me the idea. They said, if you were to read just one or two books about one specific subject, maybe some niche specific topic, read the books, and then made a ton of videos on YouTube, PowerPoint presentations explaining everything about the book, giving the condensed version of the book, and you made your whole channel about that subject, about that niche, you would become a millionaire. And I thought about it, and it's completely true. Nobody reads books. There's always a gap in the market. When Amazon saw that people didn't want to go to the store and buy their stuff, he decided to send it over to them. He decided to make a whole delivery process. Some people don't want to read their books. So guess what you do? You create a delivery process, make it easier to consume the information, rather than them having to read the whole book, spend money doing it. And in return, if it's a very popular subject, and even if it's not even that popular, if it's, let's say it's a niche subject, you can still make a lot of money. But, of course, me just giving the idea is not enough. I do have to give you some tips, so I'm literally going to give you the whole format. If you copy this, it's going to work. Trust me. I mean, seriously, dedicate like 6 months of your life to this and you will see progress. What you want to do is just pick a niche, and really you can pick anything you like. If something really interests you, let's say you're more into bodybuilding, or you're into something more niche like estrogenics and something about plastic infecting, kind of affecting the body and the hormones in your body, you can go into that. You can really go into anything. And before you go into a niche, don't be let down by the fact that one niche might not get as many views as another. Let's say you see somebody like Hamza getting millions of views on every single video, and you're thinking, I wish I could do that. If I stick to something like estrogenics, I'm only going to get 50,000 views a video. But you have to think about it. You're talking about like a really niche subject, a really important subject to a lot of people. And 50,000 people is a lot of people to sell to. Right? You're thinking, okay, so if I make a YouTube video, 50,000, at most I get $150 per video. That's not enough to really get to my goals. But you have to think about 50,000 views rather than the RPM that you're getting. Rather think about it as the amount of people that are watching you. You have to think about like a marketplace of 50,000 people are showing up to your show. You can sell them something. Now I got all of your limiting beliefs out of the way. Let me explain how you do it. Simply, just read your books, make sure you take notes, make sure you understand every key point, and kind of memorize it to a good degree. Make sure you have these concepts within the book memorized. It's not completely, but you understand the concepts enough where you can just ramble on about it on a podcast or on a video. And now what you want to do is, first, what you can start doing is just start making videos. Let's say you liked one concept in this book, how estrogenics are ruining you, or what plastic bottle to use, or which workout is best, or how to mew properly. Mewing and looks maxing is very popular right now. I bet somebody can get into that and actually make a lot of money. When you start making these videos, make sure you just have a decent thumbnail and a decently edited video. And to do that, it's not very hard. You can go on YouTube and you can find like easy tutorials to do all this stuff. And editing programs and Photoshop programs, they are completely free online. There's DaVinci and Photopea. You can look those up, and that will help you out starting. Once you got that down, you just make basic videos explaining the concepts within this video, and you become like the expert in this niche. Because everybody's too lazy, again, to look it up themselves. So you just become the guy that they have to go to. Now, if you want to really profit off of controversial marketing, which I really recommend you do, it's people like Hamza, people like Andrew Tate, all these people that you see that are very popular have done this. If you see somebody like Andrew Tate, he won't just say, if you don't go to the gym, then you're doing something bad in your life and you really should consider going. Rather, he says, if you don't go to the gym, then you're a weak, pathetic human. He says something very controversial, something very inflammatory. And what this does, when you make your content extremely polarizing, what happens is you get like some haters, which you're going to have to be prepared for. You're going to have some people that just straight up hate you. But that's what delivers like 10 times the results. There are going to be some people that hate you because you're saying something so definitively. You're not giving any wiggle room. You're saying, this is the truth. There is no other possible solution. My solution is the only possible solution. And I'm not saying that you have to believe this is true, but it's just for marketing. It helps you in marketing. If you say something is completely true, it gets more attention, more likes, more comments. And so, using this method, you have to go through every single concept and every single point that you have read about in this book that you're about to make a channel about. When you see a concept, instead of making it a very, general, broad, yeah, you could do this, rather than making it a suggestion, you have to make it a complete and utter fact. And make it a little bit controversial, maybe add some humor. So for example, something that Hamza did is, instead of saying, if you don't go to the gym, then, your future wife is going to be taken away from you. No, rather, he says something very, very provocative, very inflammatory. He says, if you don't go to the gym, somebody will impregnate your wife. Something like really almost bizarre to say. And it's almost completely the exact same message. Somebody will steal your girl and someone will impregnate. It's exactly the same message. It has the same connotation. But when you say it that way, it gets eyeballs, it gets attention, it gets traffic, it gets comments, it gets people that don't like you. It gets people that laugh. So take every single one of your points that you've memorized, all these concepts. Like if you drink plastic water bottles, your nuts will shrivel up. Stuff like that. Your hormones will deplete and your nuts will shrivel up into 2 little peanuts and people will laugh. You make it inflammatory rather than just saying, and then you're gonna have ball problems. It's not very fun. It's not very interesting. And now once you've compiled a list of all your saying points, create a ton of videos. Again, like I told you with the YouTube videos, good thumbnails, good videos. Something very popular right now is doing short form content, and it's specifically if you're doing the controversial strategy like I used, doing short form content is going to work perfectly because you say a concept like so inflammatory, like if you don't go to the gym, I will come and I will impregnate your wife. Something so almost crazy will get a ton of views, a ton of traffic. And so when people see your short form content, your brand recognition will go off the roof. And the way the funnel works really is people see you on TikTok, they see you on YouTube Shorts, they see your face, they understand kind of what you're about, talking points you give, and then they go over to YouTube and they see a thumbnail with your face in it. They remember it for specifically. They remember seeing you on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. They're like, oh yeah, that's that guy that said that my balls would shrivel up. Let me see what he has to say here. And then they click on your long form video, they become your fan, they watch a long time, and then they buy your product. And that is the cycle. Once you get bigger and bigger, you just need to scale up, hire good thumbnail artists, good video editors, and don't try to sell a product unless you have to at the very beginning. Now, if you need the money to pay staff and you need to scale up, do it. But if you're doing everything by yourself and the workload is not that much, and you're growing, and you don't need to take a sponsorship deal just yet, don't do it. Now, actually, I do recommend selling your own product. If you can sell your own product early on, that's good, like a course or something, or a private community. You can even be creative, can do merch. It really isn't too crazy. Maybe you have a certain workout equipment or something related to your industry. And when you sell your own products, it becomes a lot more genuine and it's a lot easier to justify to your viewers. So let's say you're getting like a couple thousand views on every video and you need to get some money to pay your staff and scale up and increase everything. Instead of taking a sponsorship deal and like go to betterhelp.com or go to Raid Shadow Legends, something completely just not related, you can make your own product. And the thing is, when you believe in your own product, it's a lot easier to sell it because you have it. It's your product. It's something that you actually believe in. It's something that you use or could use if they were in their situation. You know, me giving this advice is good. It's a basic framework. But a lot of people's problems, and my biggest problem right now, especially for me and what I'm doing right now, is my fear in selling to people. For my whole time that I've been doing content creation, I've been doing it for about 3 to 4 years now. I've always built up a large audience. I have about over 500,000 followers on TikTok across all my social platforms. I was always hesitant on selling to my audience. I didn't want to become a sellout. I didn't want people to think about me weirdly. So I would build up a huge audience, and then no money would be coming in, or I would take sponsorship deals. I wouldn't create any merch, and even if I did create merch, I didn't sell it well enough. And then I would just go on to a new niche because I was making no money. I got demotivated. I'm not making any money here. I've created a huge audience. People love me, but I'm not selling. Let me just create a new audience somewhere else. And I kept doing that over and over again. Kept changing. And if I stuck to one thing for long enough, I bet it would be bigger. But the fact is, the only reason I kept switching is because the only way I can make like a substantial amount of money is if I became as big as somebody like Dream without selling anything. I can make money completely off of AdSense, which is, could be a good idea to make money off of AdSense. But what you have to understand, to make money off of AdSense and off of these creator programs on like TikTok and YouTube Shorts, is you have to have a huge audience. Huge. You have to get huge to even really make it a sustainable thing. Now, when you're selling your own products and you have a product you can believe in, you can get like 3,000 views a video, which is not as much as like 500,000 views a video like a lot of these people are doing. And you can make just as much money as the people with 500,000 views. And it doesn't even take that much effort to get that much attention. Now, of course, like the golden method is to have a huge audience and also sell them a product, of course. But even if you get like a decently sized audience, even like a smaller audience, if you sell them a good product, you can still make money. This is what a lot of influencers have done, and you probably don't realize it. They gathered their first wave of like them blowing up. Let's say somebody like Hamza, let's say Iman Godzi, they got to 100,000 subscribers, and they're, relatively known, but they're not huge. They don't have 1 million subscribers yet, or they're not as big as they are now. And when they had 100,000, if they just went off of AdSense, they would be making maybe $100 a video. And that's okay. You say, make $100 a video every single day, and that's good. But then you remember you have to pay editors, and you have to pay thumbnail artists, and you're trying to scale, and you have technically like a good sized audience, but you're making no money. And so what they did was they said, okay, I'm done with this. Let me sell something that I believe in. So they sell a product. They sell like an online course or a program or something like this, and they actually acquire a good amount of money. And what they used this money for was to scale up even more. Now you can hire better staff. You can use different marketing strategies to grow your audience. And now that you already have a product and you know how to make a product and how to sell to your audience, you already have the engine. You have the engine over here that's already built. It's your funnel. Your product in your funnel is perfect. It's an engine. And now you just need to funnel people through it to actually get money. And so now you built the engine. You can take the energy you're making from the engine and put it into getting more coal to get into the engine to make more energy, so on, so forth. It sounds like cookie clicker. It sounds really simple, but it's kind of the life. It's like the life path for a lot of these channels. Is you grow a mid-sized audience, you sell a product, you use that money to market yourself even more, to create better high-quality thumbnails, high-quality videos, have a ton of people creating more shorts in TikTok accounts of your product, learning more, connecting with more people. And then, with that, if you're consistent enough and you create a better system to get more people in through the door and getting your product, then you become like Hamza and Iman Godzi and people like this, and you get 2 million subscribers, and you still have a product, and then you become like $1 million a month or even more. And so that's like the lifespan, and really that's it. If you have any questions about like this whole process, maybe I didn't share everything that I was thinking about, or you have like a specific question on like how this would go, then ask me in the comments. You might be asking like, why don't you use this yourself? I technically am. You see, like this channel is I kind of like it as my personal channel. Maybe it's going to be used in the future, but for now I'm doing something else that actually Maybe even if you're looking at my face, probably, maybe you've seen my face doing something else. Maybe you've seen me doing a different form of content, and that content's working out very well for me, and I decided this is going to be my brand now. I'm going to stick to this, and I'm going to expand from there. I'm not going to try and keep creating new brands and new accounts and new things like that. I'm going to stick to one brand. I'm going to keep this as my main brand. I'm going to do that. So yeah, technically I am doing this. I'm just not in the self-improvement niche or stuff like that anymore. Even though I might get into it in the future, it's not going to be what I'm really going for right now. So, thank you guys for watching the video. Seriously, steal it. Steal this concept. I don't care. And it's funny because, like, this channel is very personal to me now. I like my channels that don't have a lot of subscribers because I feel like I can do things without pressure. I can kind of just talk, and people will appreciate it. And I kind of intend this video to be for like the one random person that clicks on it and like has a mind-altering thing and becomes like a millionaire. I don't want the 1,000 people watching this and all trying it. I want like 5 people to be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And this is just for fun. So, and like me recording these videos kind of gets me in the flow gets me out of procrastination, so I can actually do my other work. That's kind of really why I'm doing this. Maybe it works out in the future. I really don't care. Anyways, I'll see you. Thank you. Bye.